right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 548 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And I know I have my Georgia Southern gear on. I have the shirt on saying we beat Nebraska this past season. I got the hat on. But we're going to talk some Atlanta Falcons because what Mack Hollins said, the reason why he signed to Atlanta is something very, very interesting. And I want to discuss this with you guys. So we're going to talk about that and give my thoughts and opinions on it. If this is your first time here, welcome. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. I want to thank you guys for the support. The viewership and the listenership is up, and it all thanks to you guys. You guys make this go. I really, really appreciate it. I cannot do it without you guys. And I'm still in the works of working on something really special. Hopefully that can get together maybe around the beginning of next week. I'm working on it right now. I'm on a tight schedule. Hopefully I get it up and running for you guys. So please bear with me. I think you guys are going to like it. I think you guys are going to love it. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. So just be on the lookout for that. I want to tell you guys, you know, it's really a good thing to see when you're looking at a team transform into what you always wanted it to be. And when you start to see it happen, a lot of people like to change their tune about certain things because things are starting to be a little positive. People start to get real quiet that was negative because they don't have much to talk about. But people like myself, a few other content creators who see things a couple of months or maybe a year or two ahead, talked about a lot of things Mack Hollins said. And I want to get that across you guys on this podcast today. Mack Hollins was in a recent interview with Ashton Edmonds. If you don't know who he is, he's a Falcons feature reporter. I'll have the link down in the description to the article of the interview so you guys could get you could read the whole story behind why Mack Hollins decided to sign with the Falcons. But in that interview, he said something very, very interesting. I believe he dropped a few gems in there that the content creators that you may know and love, and you know the good ones out there, you know the ones that are out there, there's no reason to start naming. If I start naming, I'll name a whole bunch of them, but most of the content creators are very good at what they do when it comes to talking about the Falcons for the most part. They said a lot of things that Mack Hollins is saying, but I'm going to touch on a few of them in this one. So I'm going to scroll down while I'm looking at the article, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions. Mack Hollins is coming off of a career year with the Raiders. Obviously, 2022, he had 57 receptions, almost 700 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's entering his 7th season, and he was looking for a new place to work to play. And he felt like the Falcons checked all the boxes. So off the rip, he wanted to come to the Falcons. And I thought that was really interesting. But this is the first thing that he said that's really interesting. One gem that he dropped. And this is something that me and other content creators have been talking about. And it's good to hear this from an outsider. Mack Hollins is an outsider coming in. And you probably heard this from Jonnu Smith as well, the tight end that we just signed. This is what he said. He said, the opportunity to play here, win games, and be coached at a high level. That last part, be coached at a high level. Coach Arthur Smith is starting to be regarded as one of the better coaches in the NFL. You may not want to say anything about it, or you may not want to believe it because of the 2-7-10 records. But when you look at the 7-10 records based on what has happened with those teams, or what was those teams made of, there's no way we should have won 7 games with those rosters. I mean, everybody could admit to that for the most part. Nobody's going to say, oh, we should have went 10-7 instead of 7-10, or we should have won 12 games, we only won 7. No, people were saying we was going to win anywhere between 2 and 4 games both seasons. So imagine what you're going to have when you get the talent like a Mack Hollins or others into this into this franchise. What will happen? He also said that's what kind of that's kind of how I made my decision between me, my girlfriend, family, and figuring that out. So he wants to be coached at a high level. He want to win games. people in the NFL kind of know what's going on here with the Falcons. And a lot of us content creators have been saying this for a while now. It's going to take time to make things happen. Some people wanted, the Falcons to win a Super Bowl after the first year that Coach Smith was here, the second year. And I understand you want to have high expectations, but we have to be honest with ourselves. It's not going to happen that way. It rarely ever happens that way. First year coach, and you was already in cap, the cap space that we had the problems with. It was a big problem. So when we finally got that money, got under the cap, we started getting guys like Jesse Bates, David Anamaya, Caden Ellis, Taylor Heineke, Jonnu Smith. Now we got, Mack Hollins. You also signed a couple other cornerbacks. He signed a couple cornerbacks. Calais Campbell may be coming. You have a lot of guys that are here because some people understand what is going on with this team. It was pretty cool. In previous years, Hollins said he would typically only have one option on the table. Hollins didn't really know how this offseason would pan out, but he trusted the process and let his agent navigate the best deal. So there he goes in to talk about what his agent done. You always want to have a good agent. That quarterback that we don't mention on this channel anymore that plays for the Ravens, he doesn't have an agent, and look where he is now. I really wish he would get an agent. He'll probably get a good deal if he would have had one, but it looks like that's not going to work out very well. Nevertheless, when Hollins first met Coach Arthur Smith and General Manager Terry Fontenot, he said the connection was organic. Hollins and Smith, so they both played football at University of North Carolina. Fontenot knew him for years. Kind of interesting to know where that connection, like when Fontenot knew him. That's kind of interesting because Terry Fontenot, his tentacles go all over the NFL as well. So he has a lot of connections within the NFL and knows talent very well. He said, as he's gotten older and played for more years in the league, this is his 7th year, I've learned to gravitate towards that. Oh, hold on, let me see. Let me just keep going. Gravitate towards that and not force myself into situations where on paper it looks good, but I don't really vibe with them. The more I go more towards people that I genuinely feel like I can vibe and have a connection with. With Terry and Arthur, I feel like I can kick it with them. Whether I play for them or not, it's exciting to be a part of something like this. Now, this is one red flag I would like to, put out there. You really don't want your coach and your GM to be having that kind of relationship, but maybe it's something that I don't know. But if it works, I'm going with it. Hollins now joins Drake London, Frank Darby, and Jared Bernhardt. Kind of interesting that he put Frank Darby and Jared Bernhardt here. I wonder if Darby and Bernhardt's going to continue to be on the team, especially Bernhardt. I think he's a diamond in the rough. In the contrast last season, while playing alongside Raiders wideout Devontae Adams, Hollins is now the veteran among Falcons receivers. See, now that's another thing. I did not realize that he was be the veteran, even though I know we have a young team, but it just came across just then. It just hit me that, yeah, he's going to be the veteran of 7 years. He's only 29. I mean, he's still fairly young in the league, and you probably have another good 4, 5, 6 years left. Depends on how the Falcons use him. Which at the moment he doesn't know. He said the Falcons haven't told him exactly how they plan to use him in the system, but whatever he can do for this team to get us playing in February, that's what I'm going to do. I love that attitude. You want to put everything out there and put yourself out, or you want to put everything out there to make sure you want the best for this team. And he's on a 1-year deal, so it's like a prove-it deal for him. Really interesting to see how this will play out for him. He also goes to say, I definitely feel like I can bring another high-powered receiver to the offense, but also play a significant role in the run game. Listen to that. Significant role in the run game. Tyler Algier is going to love this. I've had my career where I've been a run blocker and know when you have a high-powered run-pass game is a hard-to-stop offense. I agree. And him standing at 6'4", 221, getting him to be a run blocker in times we run the ball, it's going to be some problems, for some teams. Tyler Algier, Cordell Patterson, they're going to love this. They'll absolutely love it. Hollins also adds height, like I said, 6'4", 221. Size is something that you can't teach. And we have a room full of guys that are fortunate in that aspect, Hollins said. I'm glad to be a part of it and then have an offense that's tailored that makes it even better. if you have offenses not tailored to big guys, then you have big guys that don't really work out that well. So I'm definitely excited for the opportunity to go out and maximize this offense. I mean, just listen to. It seems like he's saying all the right things, and that's really awesome. Because you know you can put yourself in a situation where things may sound okay, but I got a feeling with Terry Fontenot, Arthur Smith, and with guys like Mack Hollins, I think they're really looking into this like he could fit exactly what we want to do, and he wants to fit this scheme. He has the size, he has the makeup, and he said he's learned how to run block. You also understand how what's his name? Jacobs, the running back for the Raiders. Look how well he did. Trust me, he had to run block in that scheme as well. So that's going to work out for the Falcons very well. This is very interesting because now you got Mack Hollins. John O. Smith said he can come here and maximize his ability like he did when he was at the Titans. You already have all the other pieces here. This is a really, really good situation. And when I say he dropped some gems in this interview, you start to understand what we were saying as content creators. You're starting to hear it from other players as well, because I think Mack Hollins is like one of the first players to really come out and kind of mimic what a lot of us said. I mean, we have a really good coach. This coach is revered. People want to play for him. You now have the money to acquire players that want to play for him. And when they come to play, they're saying some of the same things that we were saying. Not saying that we're the only ones that said it, but we're trying to let people understand or get people to understand that what we have here is actually really, really special. And hopefully we'll turn it into wins. And like what Mack Hollins says, if he can get the guys help the team play in February, I'm all for it and I'm here for it. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Is Mack Hollins on to something, or you think he's tripping? You're still a little skeptical? You're on the wait and see approach? Or you like saying, okay, the time is now? Let me know what you guys think. I think that we're still on the path. It's similar to wait and see, but based on all these moves we made, it looks like the Falcons are trying to do something really special. So let me know what you guys think. If you want to, I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. Be on the lookout for the huge update to the show sometime in next week. I am still working on that, and I'm going to get up out of here so I can work on a couple of things when it comes to this show and my other channel. If you haven't known what my other channel is, it's the VF Cast channel. I talk about gaming. If you see this in the background, I have a lot of gaming stuff. It's a little cluttered. I got some more gaming stuff over there. It's all over the place. But nevertheless, we'll talk about that another time. All right, y'all. I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. Peace.